Hi everyone, welcome to my week 2 presentation on my temperament results from our Kersey book. It was pretty interesting answering all the questions. I noticed a lot of the different sort of categories, or actually not too different. There are probably like some specific ones that sort of tends to lean towards a certain temperament, whether if you're patient or anxious, eager. I found that overall the results were fairly accurate actually in how they described my temperament. Usually, and I think this is a very effective tool for leaders and also individuals to sort of rate their own temperament and possibly make future adjustments as needed to be an effective employee or manager. As you can see there, I was given a letter score or evaluation of ESFJ, which equals to be a provider. E stands for extroverted, S sensory, F for feeling, and J for judging. As far as my temperament, I believe this is pretty accurate. I am an extrovert. I tend to show a lot of my emotions when I do make a decision. So you can actually see sort of it going through, my sort of decision-making process. As far as sensory, I do. Uh, I do get affected by my environment, and so my temperament does sort of sway with the environment a little bit, but not as much. But I do like to have a sense of things before I make any decisions or to move forward. That goes very well with feeling, right? I tend to trust my judgment, my emotions, and feel out certain things. At the end of the day, if I can't make a decision, I usually would go with my gut. Judging, I do judge the scenarios of my environment on whether if it's, depending on the pros and cons, depending on my feeling or what my environment is. And so it does make sense that these or four categories, I'm sorry, does equal to a description of provider. I guess I do like to provide, whether if it's within my family or in the work environment, especially being head of a department. We do need to provide the tools for our employees. I do visit with them. I do speak to them frequently. They do know how I feel when I do walk in the office. But they do also know that I'm fair, right? I take everything in my environment. I judge the situation, and I'm very open in communicating with my team. So in conclusion, I think, as I mentioned, the temperament results were pretty accurate in assessing my temperament. And in looking at it, there are certain areas where I can utilize this assessment to see, where my weaknesses are and my strengths. Maybe sometimes I should, possibly go less with my gut and more with, facts and everything and be straightforward, right? Be that field marshal, dictating certain instructions as needed, right? Because sometimes we know in leadership, sometimes you need to be firm, and others you do need to be a little lighter, more transformational rather than transactional. But overall, I think, in any assessment, it's sort of to give you a reflection of who you are and how you can improve, because we all know that there's no silver bullet when it comes to leadership and management. We have to encompass all sorts of approaches. We also have to evaluate ourselves, daily if possible, right, to be more effective, to be more efficient as a leader, and as times change, we must as well. And so thank you for viewing my week 2 presentation, and I hope you have a great week. Bye bye.